Hey guys, Blurry Gamer 22 here, and today I'm finally going to rank the Conjuring movies, the Conjuring franchise, just rank them from worst to best. So let's just get started. This is my first time doing a video like this, so just bear with me. Last on my list going to be, shocker, Annabelle. Now this one is by far the most boring movie on the franchise. Um, this one was actually the first one I ever watched. I remember buying it on Black Friday a few years ago, back in like 2014. So yeah, like 8 years ago I want to say. And yeah, even then, I just found it very boring. Like, there's very few memorable scenes. Pretty much the only ones I remember are, when I think when the baby's in danger, she's looking through the bottom of the door, and it just the Annabelle doll falls. That's what I remember. I also remember the elevator scene. It opens there. There's like this other like dimension weird type room. But yeah, those are pretty much like the only memorable scenes in this movie because pretty much everything is pretty boring. And yeah, it just seemed like they just didn't know what to do with this movie. So yeah, that's definitely the bottom of my list. So yeah, first Annabelle. Next one is The Curse of La Llorona. Now, I would definitely like this movie to be set in Mexico instead of LA because, I don't know, it just gives it like a more authentic feeling because, I don't know, LA is being pretty much overdone. And it does have a few scares, but I think for the most part, if I remember correctly, the trailer gave away with just way too many of them. So yeah, it's also pretty boring to be honest. Definitely one of the weaker installments of the franchise. So yeah, La Llorona. Okay, next up is The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. Now this one took like 2 years to come out after the last movie of the Conjuring franchise, which was Annabelle Comes Home. And yeah, we were all looking forward to this one, but at the end of the day, I think I'm really disappointed, and most fans pretty much feel the same way. This is the first of the three Conjuring movies that James Wan did not direct, and you can definitely feel his absence. Just feels completely different. Now, I appreciate the fact that they tried to do something different instead, of a typical haunted house movie, because that was pretty much done already in the first two Conjuring movies. And yeah, but at the end of the day, it's just kind of boring. There's like no real scary, demons in it. I know they mix up a few of the cases, of the Warren's actual cases, just to make it not feel as boring as they would be if they were their own movie. But I respect for what they did, trying to make something a little different. But at the end, they just kind of falls flat. And yeah, I'm just hoping the next one, if we get a next movie in the franchise, is definitely should be better than this one. So yeah, easily the worst one of the three Conjuring movies, and yeah, one of the bottom of the franchise in general. And yeah. Next up is Annabelle Comes Home. Now this one I actually really enjoyed the first time I ever watched this. I remember bought it on Black Friday like 2 years ago, and for some reason I enjoyed it more than I did Annabelle Creation. I thought it was a better movie for some reason, but after rewatching it, definitely doesn't hold up as much. And I really just enjoy the fact that this movie is, it's a little more lighthearted than the rest of the Conjuring movies. And I still enjoyed it, but definitely not as much as the other ones. From this point on, I pretty much like the rest of the Conjuring movies. And yeah, I thought the werewolf demon was pretty dumb. I don't know, it just felt too cartoonish, too much CGI in it. But I definitely do hope that they make like another movie based on the samurai armor thing. I don't know, it was pretty much hinted on this movie, but I don't know, it might be interesting seeing another Conjuring movie based on in another country, another part of the world. So I don't know. Hopefully they eventually make something of this or include it in more upcoming movies. But yeah, it's a fun movie. It's like a nice weeknight watch, and yeah, pretty fun movie overall. But it's definitely still on the weaker side of the Conjuring movies. So yeah, Annabelle Comes Home. Okay, next up is The Nun. Now this one I actually watched in theaters, and this one I really enjoy. I know it's filled with cliches, it was like way too over reliant on jump scares, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I really like the setting of this movie. I remember in Abbey just gives it like a very authentic feeling. I love the score in this movie. The cast is pretty fun, pretty enjoyable, and yes, it's one of the ones I rewatched the most. Got a good jump scares too, and yeah, I don't know. This one I just rewatched a lot. For some reason I just really enjoyed this one, and yeah, definitely one of the better movies in the Conjuring universe. Like I said, from Annabelle Comes Home onward, I really just enjoyed the rest of the movies, and yeah, it's a fun watch. Definitely, like I said, one of the ones I rewatched the most. like a good like weekend night movie to watch, with friends or something. And yeah, pretty fun in general. Just really enjoyed this one for some reason. Next up is Annabelle Creation. Now this one was the first one I actually saw in theaters, and this is probably the scariest movie in my opinion of the whole Conjuring universe. It has like a lot of great practical effects, which gives like a plus to it, and the setting as well. It just they're like in the middle of nowhere, just gives it like an extra feeling of of danger to the characters. There's like a lot of children and very few like adults in there. And yeah, it just has like a lot of very like brutal kills in this one, which is not common in the Conjuring universe. But yeah, this one has like two really brutal murders in this one. And yeah, I just always pretty much enjoyed this one. It's one of the stronger movies in the franchise. It's third on my list, and yeah, also like the cast. Has a lot of great, good characters in this one. So yeah, third one on my list, Annabelle Creation. Okay, so number 2 on my list is The Conjuring 2. Now I know most people probably have this one as number 1, but for me it's number 2. This is probably the most emotional movie of the franchise. It has a lot to do with the Warrens' relationship. Ed and Lorraine, the love for each other. Lorraine is just like a premonition that he's gonna die in like case due to a demon, and yeah, that's very emotional. And I really just like the fact that this one is set in the UK and actually filmed there, and not just the story just remade in the US just for American audiences. So yeah, just gives like a more authentic feel, like I've been saying for a lot of these movies. And yes, it's like a pretty fun one. Really like the guitar playing scene. What's the song called from Elvis? Fall in Love with You, something like that. Yeah, just really like the scene, to be honest. And yeah, the only thing that holds it back from the number 1 spot, in my opinion, is the over relying on the CGI. But it's still a pretty fantastic movie, in my opinion. One of the great movies of the 2010s. And I really like the fact that this one introduced two demons in particular. The nun Valak, which pretty much probably everyone's favorite demon in the Conjuring universe. And also the Crooked Man, which we're still waiting for a movie on that. So yeah, hopefully they eventually make one of that. But yeah, it's a pretty good movie. A lot of great acting. Has a lot of freaky scenes. And yeah, second on my list, Conjuring 2. Now the first one, no surprise for anyone, The Conjuring. This one is by far my favorite movie in the franchise. I really like the fact that it just uses like a lot of practical effects, unlike a lot of the other ones who just are over reliant on CGI. And yeah, this movie, like, single handedly, they pretty much it started the whole franchise, built like a whole franchise basically off this one movie, the success of this one movie. Basically in like a decade where horror movies were pretty much dying, to be honest. Even today, there's like not too many horror movies that come up, but this one pretty much gave it like a shining light on horror movies. Started the whole franchise, like I said. And yeah, this was just like a terrifying movie, probably like the second scariest in the Conjuring universe, only behind Annabelle Creation. And yeah, just has pretty much the craziest climax in all of the Conjuring movies. The demon possession, when the mother trying to kill her children, that's pretty freaky to me. So yeah, just easy number 1 in my opinion. A lot of freaky scenes. I don't know, the setting, I also like the setting. The house in the middle of like lake house, like middle of the woods and stuff. Like a very freaky setting to this. Yeah, just one of my favorite horror movies of the decade, The Conjuring. Easily the best one in my opinion. And yeah, so that was it for my ranking. Probably wasn't as good, to be honest. It's my first time doing like a ranking like this, so yeah, I might do more rankings in the future. I'm trying to do maybe Insidious, like other like non-horror movie stuff, DCEU, MCU. I'm trying to rank a lot of these, so yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll see how well this video does. If it does pretty well, I'm probably just gonna continue doing more of these. But yeah, stay tuned for more. So please comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.